Will it come soon when it comes to VeChain? It's actually not about the price. VeChain not too long ago made a post saying scale your expertise with AI agents, and then below that they say soon on VeChain. This does indicate to me at least that VeChain is refocused as of right now in regard to AI, which I don't find to be a bad thing. And let me explain why I think so in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice and even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. But again, if we take a look at VeChain, historically, it's focused on supply chain management. But let's be honest, that has its own limits. There's kind of a ceiling there because, sure, supply chain management is cool, but it's not as cool as AI. So, of course, VeChain, they need a pivot. And why not? It's not like they're ignoring supply chain management forever. It's not like they're abandoning that idea. They're still focused on that. That's still their bread and butter. But now there's something like AI, and they're really focused on that, which I think is a big thumbs up because it showcases that they understand where the market may be heading. There's not too much attention as of right now when it comes to this space in regard to AI, but there is when it comes to stocks. So if that kind of flows over into here, VeChain is just in a much better position because they're already preemptively focusing on AI even as of right now. The thing about VeChain is this: being focused on supply chain management, it's like, for instance, me selling hats with a propeller on top. I mean, sure, it's fun, it's niche, I guess, but at the same time, it has its own limitations, right? Not everyone out there is going to want to buy a hat with a propeller on top. Being focused on AI is like selling regular hats. Being focused on supply chain management is like selling a hat with a propeller on top. Nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, there is the limitation there. So when it comes to VeChain, I like the direction in which they're heading. And again, why did I say that VeChain being focused on AI is kind of a no-brainer? Well, it's because VeChain already has the infrastructure. They already have the VeChain Tor blockchain. Now, if they're just going to keep focusing on supply chain management moving forward, I mean, it's totally fine. The VeChain Tor blockchain can most definitely handle that. But it's a little bit underutilized in that sense because the VeChain Tor blockchain, in my opinion, could be used for a lot more. I believe that the VeChain Tor blockchain can perfectly handle a lot of AI projects. And the reason why is because the VeChain Tor blockchain has several traits that people often care about when it comes to a blockchain. For instance, they want something that's reliable, and the VeChain Tor blockchain is zero network outages ever since 2018. So that's a big bonus. Not to mention, allegedly very energy efficient, which we all know AI allegedly does use a lot of energy. So that is another bonus when it comes to VeChain Tor. Not to mention, it's fast, which a lot of people do want things that are fast. It's scalable. That matters a lot when it comes to AI developers. And also on top of that, the gas fees are not an issue. So VeChain Tor kind of ticks all the boxes. That's the thing. So people like to say, oh, this project is only focused on supply chain management. Well, historically it is, but when it comes to, in the case of AI, I think they understood that, you know what, the VeChain Tor blockchain can handle this type of stuff. So why not use it for that? Which is why I think that VeChain as of right now is having this strong pivot when it comes to AI. This is smart because, in my opinion, the more they talk about this, the more that they kind of vocalize their shift in regard to AI, the better it is. Because moving forward, if people do start caring about AI projects within this space or projects that are focused on AI, VeChain, again, it's just waiting right there. It doesn't need to chase it later on. So I think that this is the natural progression when it comes to VeChain, initially being really focused on supply chain management, and as of right now, really being vocal in regard to their focus when it comes to AI. It's a smart move, I think, just because the market sentiment seems to be heading towards AI, and also on top of that, they have the infrastructure anyways, so why not? It's just a natural thing. It's like, for instance, having a Jeep Wrangler, but that's like using a Jeep Wrangler just to go back and forth to the grocery store. I mean, it's fine, it can do that, but it can handle a lot more. Now that they're kind of pivoting towards AI, they're kind of beginning to understand that, you know what, this Jeep Wrangler, it can handle the off-road activities. It can do all this. So again, VeChain now being focused on AI is like finally using that Jeep Wrangler to go off-roading. It can handle that. And I think for what VeChain is, VET, which is VeChain's primary native token, being at around slightly under half a penny, so half a cent basically, it's lower than even half a cent. That's kind of ridiculous because back in December of 2024, it was around 6.5 cents. So we're clearly over 10 times lower than that. Kind of ridiculous, right? And again, I'm seeing VET at under half a cent. That is so ridiculous. Not in a bad way though, because this kind of feels like a throwback. If we take a look at it, this is literally VeChain being back at levels we once saw in 2020. I'm not joking. Just take a look at it. Back in May of 2020, VeChain, or should I say VET, was under half a cent. So this is like a throwback to 6 years ago, quite essentially. Is that a bad thing though? I mean, it really depends, because to some, okay, I get it, it's very unpleasant, but for me, I find it to be quite a good time actually, because I like the dip. That's the thing. So you're telling me I can dollar cost average into VeChain at 2020 levels, but in 2026? Yeah, I have zero complaints when it comes to that situation. I'm not saying I want it to be that way forever, but if we take a look at it, bear markets, typically in some cases, they don't last forever. That's the thing. So yes, the price could go down, but sometimes it could also recover. When will it happen? I can't control that. I have no idea. But one thing I do have an idea of is controlling myself, and I'm willing to wait. No matter how long it's going to take, I'm willing to wait. That's the thing. I'm not in a hurry. I don't need to be in a rush for anything when it comes to this, so I'm just waiting, and I'm going to see what happens. But VeChain, in my opinion, really doesn't need to ever go back to its all-time high. If it could just go back to around 6.5 cents, like what we saw back in December of 2024, I'm already really happy. That's the thing. We're over 10 times lower than that. Sure, people like to say, oh, but a microcap could do figures that are a lot more fantastic. Yeah, but I'm not looking for a microcap though, and I'm not looking to become the next Jeff Bezos. That's not my thing. VeChain just going back to December 2024? Like, I see no reason why I would need to care about a movement beyond that, in a sense where sometimes enough is enough. You know what I mean? It's like, if someone has 10 cars, do they really need the 11th or 12th vehicle? Maybe in some cases not really. So again, BitTensor, the Near Protocol, those type of projects may be known for AI as of right now, but VeChain, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if moving forward, this really does become a big player when it comes to that niche in regard to AI, when it comes to this space. But it's a only time will tell type of scenario, and I'm willing to wait. But I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward when it comes to VeChain. So when VeChain is indicating a statement showcasing how it says scale your expertise with AI agents, and saying below that soon on VeChain, it's a big thumbs up for me, and it kind of showcases and I think reinforces their focus in regard to AI, and I do find that to be really amazing. But we'll wait and see.